What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today is a bit different. We are going to be decluttering and changing the office look. So obviously, as you can see behind me, everything's sort of changed. It's minimalized, it's gone down just a slight bit, and I've taken quite a lot out of my office and moved it into boxes, put it in the attic for just other rainy days. As you can see by the footage that's on screen, it was cluttered. There was so much on the walls, there was so much going on, and I just couldn't figure out what I needed to do and what I needed to move. So I started off by literally gutting everything, by taking everything off the walls. I was going through cupboards, I was going through everything just to minimize what I had in this office space. Now obviously, as you can see, the office is in our bedroom, which I also share with my wife. Her side is tiny, my side's absolutely, like, it's massive. I am self-employed, I do this for a living, I do my clothing line and things like that as well, so I needed more room, but I feel like I'm overtaken with too much of the random kiddie sort of stuff. So it was time to upgrade the office into this beautiful, more of a sleek looking design. Now it's still not personally what I'd like, because the minimalized space, you know, there's just stuff hanging on the walls, and I'd like it to be more of a minimalistic office where it's like a full room, a desk, and it looks like a graphic artist's office. If you've ever seen them, they're very, you know, well presented. It's like you've got wood, a base color, and an accent color, which is basically your whites, and then an accent color could be like a dark grey, and then your wood is like a Pacific oak kind of color. Obviously, as you can see, what I've done is I've tried to add some oak effect into the room by adding a vinyl on top of my white table. Now the table was disgusting, it had, you know, holes everywhere. The vinyl was terrible when I first did it, so I went and got from Pep & Co, believe it or not, for £1.50 this vinyl roll, self-adhesive, obviously sticky back if you don't know what that means, and it just stuck to the table really well, and it just looked fantastic. So once that was done, it was about just getting that initial look to see what I'd like with the oak style and what might change over time, whether it means, you know, if we move house and I can take an oak table with me, I can then plan around that table, because that's your set in stone. That's what you technically use to sort of build around, is the main table. I was super excited and super pleased with how this vinyl came out. It looks fantastic. After doing the table, I kind of looked around the room and saw loads of opportunity of opening up space and what I could have done. I dug deep, bro. I was deep in that stuff. I was balls deep. So obviously I went into the cupboard, I pulled everything out, all my GamerStop stuff, because you only need one shaker at a time, and I had a box which was the size of this PC, the case that I got sent by Deepcool. The size of the box was half, no, I'm gonna say 3/4 full. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat shit, right? It was 3/4 full of anime tit shake cups. Now I kept one out, obviously, as it's near Christmas. Kept the Christmas version out, so that's why that one's on the shelf. And then obviously the other ones that I have to sort of promote, they're still out, but all the other ones that I had, which you could see in the office space, it was just way too cluttered. They was taking up so much room inside this little cupboard I have behind me. Like, I didn't need that many out. I wasn't showing them. They were just in the closet cupboard thing that I had created. Then I went and decluttered all the boxes. Now, one thing I noticed in my room, in my office, whatever you call it, when you have one box and it just piles up with another box, and then piles up with another box, and you always think in your mind like, oh, I can save these boxes and use them later on. No, you can't. You will never find something that will fit back in that box apart from the thing that came in that box. Unless it's a bigger box and you stack loads of stuff up into it, you won't find one thing that just fits perfectly in that box. Like, you know, it's just a given. The only thing that fitted in that box was the thing that was bought inside that box. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what I did was genius. Now, I keep a lot of my product boxes. Once I get a product sent out, and maybe another product later on, if they bring out a new style of it or a new update of that same sort of product, blah, blah, blah. So I keep the box just in case I decide one day I want to go on a mad eBay spree and sell crazy amounts of stuff and earn a bit of ching, okay? Not that I've done that, because every time I go to sell something, everyone's like, I'm not going to buy it. I'm like, alright, whatever. So it just stays in the cupboard. But instead, I've changed up the game. I've put all the boxes that I had at the top of the cupboard. I had all the boxes at the top nicely stacked away. They were neat, to be fair. I just took them all out. I took them all out and put them in a massive box that's gone into the attic. So then when we move house, or if I get a new office space or whatever, I can take them back out and go, I want a wall full of all the boxes. And I call them accomplishments in my mind. If a company's willing to send me a product, now I don't get paid for doing product reviews. There's been a couple of times that I've actually had payment as well as the product. But I see it as, if a company's willing to send me a product that's over at least £80 plus, then to me that's payment enough. Like, it's saving me money having to buy the product, so I appreciate it. But if a company also adds money on top, that's just a given bonus. Like, that's just a yes please, send me more stuff. It all got cluttered in there after a while. I had Lego set up, I had just spare vinyl, because obviously I do the clothing, the vinyl, that was all building up as well. I was like, yo, I can't control what's going on in this place. And then the wall was just rammed full of stuff. I squeezed everything onto that pegboard, and then this pegboard beside me, and obviously this wall just has so much going on, and it was getting too much. I looked at it and thought, I need to calm it down. I need to stop trying to fill every space in this room, because a lot of people will do this when they move into a place. They'll see a space that's empty, and to them, empty space is not good. They need to have it filled. But then once you've filled it, lo and behold, it's cramped. Everything's just so tight. There's not a bit to breathe, you know? And that's what was happening here. I had so much going on. And believe it or not, just that oak desk now gives it a new life form. It feels fresher, you know? It's weird. It makes you motivated to actually create the content, or it creates a aura around you that when you've got such an open space that's so free and not cramped, your mind expands a bit with it. It doesn't feel so, you know, claustrophobic. You don't feel like, oh god, whatever I look at, I can't get any sort of information to process of what to create, because I'm looking at so much stuff all the time. My brain's never focused on one thing. And now I've actually cleaned up a good amount of space compared to what this was. Obviously, I'll show some B-roll of like how it is now and how it was before. You can sort of see what I'm going on about. So how it is now compared to how it was then, it's so much open. There's so much space there. So it's still got a lot on there. Obviously, it's not as tidy and as empty as I would like it, but it's got the things that necessarily I need. So, you know, the Sketchboard Pro. It's got the Oculus Quest hanging up now, so that's not now jammed in a closet, which is just stupid for such a high priced product. I've just thrown it in a closet before. Now it's hanging up, it's, you know, it's safe, it's sturdy, and it just looks good on the wall. I feel like I've got so much more like room to maneuver. Same with the closet, there's so much more in there. The two printers are separate. You know, there's Lego on the shelf, which it has its dedicated shelf now, so it doesn't look like it's cluttered. It just feels so nice. Just a few tips of if you live in a small boxed room or a small little office space that you have, maybe a little shed or something that you're doing in the garden, and you just feel like you've over cluttered it. Best scenario for you, take everything out. Get it all out and literally start again from fresh. I started looking at gaming setups. Now, gaming setups are all good, yeah, they're fantastic, but after a while they get cluttered because you've got so much gadgets showing on the screen and it just looks horrible. If I could go back and redo this whole office space that I've made here, going back to looking at graphic designers on their channels, artists on their channels, compared to gamers, because I used to always like this gaming setup of RGB, colours, everything. Now I look at it and I'm thinking, I like the sleek oak design, the artistry sort of design of an office space. It looks beautiful. If someone came in, like a client, to say I was doing vinyl for their van, or, you know, business cards or whatever that I'm doing for someone, and they come in to an office space and they were like, it looks clean. I'd have some bits up, just obviously because I feel like they have a place on the wall. So like the Star Wars lightsaber holder that I created with this Stormtrooper, I feel like that is an awesome piece that someone could walk in and see an artistry, like they can see the art of it. They don't see like, oh, you've got a toy on your wall. They see, you know, you've created something that holds a lightsaber, and it's not a standard just, you know, on the shelf sort of thing. You've give it a home, and now that's actually a one-off piece of art that I could sell for thousands, because you can't buy this anywhere. Everyone used to message me constantly on TikTok like, how do you, like, where did you buy the Stormtrooper to hold your lightsaber up? I'm like, bro, I didn't. I made it. Like, you can't get this anywhere. I've got another lightsaber on the way, which is the newer version, which is the V8 from Save Neo, and I'm gonna have to try get another one of these, or there is a Darth Vader version that I actually give back to my friend. So if I can get that back, bro, I'm gonna have two. They're like mantelpieces, okay? They look incredible. If you're looking at sort of minimizing your space, just have a couple of photos on the wall, have an accent wall and a base color. So typically you want to go for a white and a dark gray, or a white and a sort of a medium brown if you're having like oak furniture, and you know, you can complement each other sort of thing. So have the oak furniture against the white wall, but have an accent wall that's medium brown with white panelled acoustic things, or white like framework, stuff like that. You can really manipulate a room to how it should look, instead of what I've done. I've just gone complete crazy. So I added this like foam brick effect on the wall, which I actually love, and it was on Amazon. It was super cheap, and you know, it done the job for what I needed it. If I can find a link, everything will be in the description. If not, just search up foam, like foam wall pieces, I don't know, brick foam wall, whatever, I don't know. But it done the job, and it looks super cool, and it looks super nice. But now I look at it, I'm like, every other wall isn't like that. That's sort of my accent wall, but it's the same colour as the back wall. It's kind of nice that this pegboard here, which has actually fell down at the top here, I didn't notice that. But it's nice that this pegboard at the back has a backlight in to accent a different colour, to obviously change the look of the room and when I record videos. So when you're doing your room, just keep it simple. Start off very small. You don't have to fill every space. You can keep it as minimalistic as you want, and it still will look incredible. Unless you're going for the gaming setup that you need crazy amounts of stuff. You slowly grow up and you learn mistakes of what you've done in your past gaming setups, and now all these videos on YouTube of like, oh, this gaming setup wars, and it's all this like, look at the like the RGB lights everywhere and the colourful keyboards and mouses and da 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 da. As long as you keep it to a specific colour scheme. So I've roughly gone for a white and black, and now added a bit of oak in there. So my colour scheme would be that rough white grey oak, or white black and oak, to sort of complement each other. And that's sort of where I want to go with the next office setup. Maybe come in a series of a office build in a shed, from installating to, you know, safety, sound barrier, all this sort of stuff, crazy amounts of things that will have to be obviously implemented into this office space, but it'll be a whole new experience. Or there'll be a new room that I'm creating, because we're looking at getting somewhere bigger that I can have my own space to work from. Let's look over the new office now, get some nice glimpses, a bit of music, a bit of a montage if you will, and then we'll come back. So I'll stop whittling, you know, and I'll let you enjoy some B-roll. So that's the new office, that's the new setup as it is of the moment. It might be changing again, I don't know yet. Don't hold me to it. It might change again. I love to change things all the time. Give it about a month or so, I'm like, I'm bored of it, I want to change. And then I'll go and change it. But for now, I like it. It's suitable for what I need, and yeah, I love it. So everyone, that is the end of the video. My name's been Callum. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any uploads from further on here on out. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's come from shorts or, you know, long form videos, wherever you've come from. I appreciate you dropping in and checking out the video. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Give me some comments below of what's your favourite fruit juice, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Awesome. I also just fixed the light up there. Fantastic.